Years ago, when we started our business, we traveled all over the United States. So we thought it'd be a great idea to purchase a large motorhome, and we would travel and do our seminars across the country that way. So we bought a 33-foot motorhome. We tried some smaller ones first and then moved up to the large one, and basically went all over the country in that motorhome. So we would take driving shifts. I would drive 2 hours, and then my business partner would drive 2 hours. And that way we never got tired and we could go for longer distances, which we did. So we ended up being in a state, and I won't tell you which one, but it was a state where they don't allow you to pump your own gas. They had service attendants, and you had to wait in line for them to tell you when to move up and which bay to go to. So it was my turn to drive. So I was waiting in line, and there was a female attendant. And she basically motioned for me to pull up and show me which bay area to go into, which I did. And there had been a long line, of course, of people waiting to get their gas. And of course, y'all know me, I run my mouth a mile a minute. So basically, when I pulled up and I turned the engine off, I got out and went out to stretch my legs. And of course, I began talking with the attendant. And as we were talking, a BMW convertible that was about 3 cars back, or 3 vehicles back, basically got out of line, pulled around us, and zoomed into a bay area that had just emptied. It was not their turn, but that's what they did. And under her breath, the female attendant basically said a few choice words to the passenger and the driver of that convertible. So when they stopped, the female passenger got out, slammed her door, and comes right up to me. She thinks that she had obviously had heard what the female attendant said, and she thought I said whatever it was that she said, and it was not very nice, I can tell you, but she thought I had said it. So she gets right in my face, and I mean, she cusses me out up one side and down the other. She is just wild. She's doing her arms around, and I'm standing there, and the more she is cussing me out, the madder I am getting. And I'm thinking, okay, when she takes a breath, you can go in for the kill. And I said to myself, no, Kat, you have a choice here. You can either get on her level and you have a shouting match with her, or you can have a little Southern fun. Now, which way do you think I went? Of course, I decided to have a little Southern fun. Now, an interesting aside that you need to be aware of here is that most true Southerners, of course, have that Southern drawl. But you may not know that we can accentuate that drawl a little bit more when it's necessary to do so, or helps us out a little bit. So that was the moment that I was in, and I realized I was about to have a little fun, and I was going to accentuate that Southern drawl. So when she got finished cussing me out, she looked at me very expectantly, like, oh yeah, now come on, bring it on. So I look at her with a very perplexed look on my face, and I said, ma'am, I am so sorry, but I didn't quite catch what you said. Would you mind telling it to me just one more time? And I'm going to concentrate real hard so that I can follow what you're saying. Well, I thought that would do it with her, but I'll be dadgum. She started in again. I mean, she was so mad, and she was just cussing me out. I mean, spittle was coming out of her mouth, and she was doing her hands around, and she was getting more and more agitated. So when she got through, I looked at her again, and I kind of scratched my head with a Forrest Gump move. And I said, ma'am, I am so very sorry, but I still didn't catch everything that you said. If you don't mind, if you'll just tell me one more time, I promise I'm going to concentrate real hard and try to follow what you're saying. Now, by this time, she looks at me like, what are you, an idiot? And then she turned around and walked off. And under my breath, I said, gotcha, sucker. Now, and she did not turn around and come back. I had a choice that day. I could have gotten right back in her face because believe you me, she did make me angry. See, I think we have a choice about our behavior. I think we can control our behavior. And I was not about to let her get the best of me. I was not about to let her ruin my day with the very fact that she was having a bad day. And I just didn't want to give that example to the attendant that was standing there also. We have a choice in any given situation as to how we're going to respond, how we're going to react, what we're going to say, what we're going to do. And normally, when you get on someone else's level and you get angry and you get upset and you really lose it, do you know what that does to you physically and mentally and emotionally? I'm just not going to give anybody else that power over my life. Won't you join me just for this week?